Hey, welcome to my last Raid Shadow Legends video. I'll get into that a little bit later. About 4 months ago, I started an experiment where I started two accounts at the same time on the same day. I played both accounts the same way with one major difference. One account was free to play, and the other had a monthly spending budget of $50. Now, I didn't spend that $50, I was saving some of it to spend later. But over the 4 months that I did spend on the budget account, I did spend $120. And I think we're just going to use that as our baseline for right now. I have not logged in to either of those experiment accounts or my main account in the last month. I had something happen. I took a little step back a couple of weeks before my major absence, and I had something happen. It was an injury, and it's really a stupid kind of thing. It wasn't something I intentionally did, that I was risking something. It's something I've done, hundreds of times. And just on this occasion, it went bad, and I injured myself pretty significantly. It was in a lot of pain for a lot of days, and I'm still in quite a bit of pain. It's getting better. I will make a full recovery. I have no doubt about that. But it was scary, for a while. I didn't know what was going on at first, and I actually, it sounds stupid now to think about, but I actually thought that might be the end, that I might be done. And being in that much pain and fear, and it is, it's there's actual fear going on when you're in that much pain. It releases chemicals in your brain, and they're not the good kind. And so what happened was, it was interesting, because as I was recovering, there would have been no better time to play the game, other than I couldn't sit upright in a chair, and play at my PC. But I could have logged into my main account, and after the first couple of days, I just didn't. I didn't even care anymore. And I think what happened, being in that much pain and being in that much fear, I think something happened with my brain, the reward system that you have in your brain, that the dopamine that this game is so good at helping you achieve. I didn't care anymore. And we had some really cool things going on in the game. My main account, I had the new challenge dungeon. I had a pretty nice team built for that, and I was excited about the Loki thing. Haven't logged in. I haven't even collected Loki. I haven't done anything, and I don't want to. And it's probably a good thing that this happened before I became monetized on this account. I think I was on this YouTube channel. I think I was on my way to getting that done and to achieving it. Was a goal I had, and I did intend on spending a year doing this experiment between these two accounts. And I really did want to show the difference between free to play and a budget amount, spending $50 a month, which I consider to be a pretty significant amount of money. I wanted my goal, and it was an experiment, but also I wanted to show people that, a moderate amount of spending on this game doesn't really get you that far. And I think we achieved that. I think if you go back and look at some of my other videos, I think we achieved kind of showing that there's not a lot of difference between spending a moderate amount of money and spending zero money. Even if you're playing the same way, the RNG can kind of make up for, what you can get from spending. It's only when you spend a really significant amount of money that you gain a really clear advantage with this game. And there are reasons for that. And I have come to understand that the reason for that is, and it's the whole model with all of these types of games, that allow you to download for free, and then they give you, microtransactions to be able to either make up time or resources. And I think the reason that they do that, and this is just, I think the business model revolves around the idea that people will start the game and they will believe that spending some money will get them some progress and allow them to compete at a higher level. When you also have players who spend a lot of money, like I'm talking a really lot of money. People that are watching my videos are not, they're not even in the same stratosphere as those of us who are spending a moderate amount. Whales that are spending thousands a month and have spent, upwards of $100,000 or so on their accounts. The reason that these games exist is because of those people. But if they didn't allow people to download the game for free or to have enjoy the same game with the same benefits, spending a moderate amount of money, the whales wouldn't have a very satisfying experience because they would only be playing with a very small group of people, and they need players to play against. They need opponents, and you are those opponents if you are spending a moderate amount of money or playing for free. And it's a system that really works. It works well for the developers, and it works well for people who want to play games for free. You can do really well in games like this if you're free to play. I don't think spending a moderate amount of money works in this game especially. I have played other games where you can spend $5 on an intro pack or something like that, and it gets you a huge amount of progress really fast. And then maybe you don't spend after that. And usually, yeah, you are way behind some of the whales, but you can hang. This game, I don't think it makes a difference. I think if you're spending a moderate amount of money, and when I'm talking moderate, I'm talking less than $100 a month. And $100 a month is a lot. In my opinion, that's a lot to spend on a mobile game. The amount of time you can spend on this game, though, maybe you feel like it warrants it if you're spending that much time on the game. But I knew before I had this happen to me and before I just stopped caring, I knew this game was a hamster wheel, but it was a hamster wheel that I enjoyed. I enjoyed getting on the wheel every day, and I knew I was never going to get to the end. There is no end. The game developers for this game are some of the best that I've ever seen at coming up with new challenges. And it's a very good game. There's always something new. There's always time you can take off of, whatever dungeon or team, that you've built. There's always something you can be doing to improve your account, to improve a team, to improve one of your builds on one of your characters that you're playing. There's always something you can be doing, and the art is second to none. I mean, it's great artwork. They do a great job, and it's a great game if you want to play games like this. And like I said, I knew every time I logged in, I knew I was getting on a hamster wheel, but it's a hamster wheel, like I said, that I enjoy. And now I can't do it anymore. And I know I committed to a year. I committed that to myself as much as anybody else. I committed to myself that I was going to run that experiment for a year because I was curious. I wanted to see what the actual difference would be. But if my heart's not in it, I'm not monetized on the account yet, I can't do it anymore. And so I apologize to any of you who were interested in the experiment like I was. It became unavoidable to me. When I was about a week in, I kept thinking, well, I'm probably going to be able to just pick up where I left off. A week isn't that big of a deal. But after about a week, I realized I'm a different person now, and I am, and I'm not going to be able to continue to run this channel. And so, for those of you who are interested, and I hope you know how much it means to me that there were actually people interested in what I was doing and that followed along, made really nice comments, and it was a nice experience for me. Getting to know some of you, and I just wanted you to know that I don't take it lightly. I'm just quitting, and for no reason. It was a significant event in my life. It changed my life, and it's going to change me going forward. And I am going to continue doing a YouTube channel. It's not going to be this. It's not going to be gaming at all. It's going to be something really strange. If you're interested, I'll put it in a pinned comment what my next channel is going to be. But I do like the accountability that YouTube has. I do like that, it sort of forced me to think through some things that I wouldn't have had to think through on this subject, on the game itself. And it was challenging, and I kind of liked that about it. And I'm going to keep on I'm starting over. I'm starting from scratch. I don't know if what I'm doing is going to be a good idea or not, but it's something that I can incorporate into my life now the way I need to live it. There's some things that I need to do to make sure that I've done my best to make sure that this never happens to me again. I'm no different than anybody. You know, if you're out for a month of just being able to live your life, especially pain free, you know, and I know there's a lot of people in pain out there. I've been in pain throughout my life for different reasons, and it's a struggle, you know, to do so many things. And this was different, though. This was a different kind of pain. It was extreme, and I can't be out, you know, of my life with my family, with my work, with anything for 4 weeks. I can't. And there's some things that I need to do to make sure that I'm preventing that from ever happening again. And unfortunately for me, I'm the kind of person that if I'm playing a game like this, I'm all or nothing. I'm either trying to do everything that that you have to do to play the game every day, or I just can't do it at all. But this is different. I don't even care anymore. It's not like I feel like I'm sacrificing anything. I have no interest in getting it. And I played my main account for almost 4 years. It's a pretty good account, and I had spent some money on it. And I just have no interest in it anymore. And so I will be going on to do something else. It's not game related, and it probably won't interest anybody. The target market is completely different, totally foreign from what this, you know, from the audience for this game. But if you are interested in what I'm doing, I will put it in a pinned comment. And if you open up, just be prepared. If you open it up, you're going to say, okay, this is bizarre and it has nothing to do with anything. and I'm not, and I don't blame you if you're not interested in it at all. I just thought I'd put it out there as an option. You know, we've gotten to know each other a little bit. I haven't gotten to know you as well. But if you are interested in what I'm going on to do, I'll put it in there in the pinned comment. But yeah, I don't expect anybody to follow me over to that channel and watch what I'm doing over there, because it's a totally different thing. So I just want to make a quick video telling you kind of my thoughts on the experiment itself, trying to wrap that up, and also to apologize to any of you who, you know, expected more and expected me to fulfill that commitment for a year. I got a few comments saying, when I was uploading videos on a regular schedule, that it was sort of part of their routine. And that's very flattering, and I really appreciate that. And I hope nobody thinks that I just made this decision without thinking about that. I really did. I considered it, and I kind of feel terrible about it, but it's something that I have to do for myself, for my family, and for some of the work that I feel like I need to do for the future. And I really never want anything like that to happen to me again. And there's some steps that I need to take to make sure that it doesn't. So I hope you understand that. I hope we're cool. I hope we're good. And I hope you're doing well. You know, and if you're in pain, if you're struggling with something and whatever, and this game is giving you some kind of relief from that or some distraction from that, I totally understand, because that's how it started for me. And I played, like I said, for almost 4 years. And it was a nice thing that I had that distracted me and entertained me and allowed me to sort of distract myself from some of the things that I had going on in my life. But this is the end of my journey with that. And I hope no one takes that to mean that I think nobody should be playing this game. That's not what I'm saying at all. But I would caution anyone who is spending a moderate amount of money. I really think you can make just as big of an impact on your account by playing smart, free to play, by using your resources wisely. I think you would have to spend at least $200 or $300 a month to really see a big difference, and that's in U.S. dollars. And I'm sorry, I don't know what all the currency exchanges are, but you could look that up. You know, for what you think my opinion is on what would really impact. I don't think it's smart. I just don't think it's smart to spend your money on it. But if you're free to play, I think you can, if you follow some of the guys that do free to play, follow Boozor or Airbad. Those guys, they do some phenomenal things. They had better accounts and they had more progress than I did on either the budget or the free to play account for the amount of time they spent. And so I just think, this game can be a very good distraction. It's one of the best games out there. It's the one that held my attention for the longest. And I think if I hadn't had this health event happen, I'd still be playing and I'd still be making videos. I'd still be doing it. But I apologize. I'm not going to anymore. But like I said, I hope you are well. I hope your life is going the way you want it to go. If it's not, I'd encourage you to do what you have to do to make sure that you're doing what you need to do to live your life the way you want to live it, and to accomplish the things that you want to accomplish. I wish you all the best and all the good fortune on your goals. And if you're going to keep playing the game, like I would have been, I wish you all the best with that too. And thank you. Thank you for your kind attention and all other kinds of attention. I've been Wood, and I appreciate you.